For those of you who are not aware, that's a go with an X. I got it. Can everybody give Shay a big round of applause? We could not be more proud of her. I was backstage. I asked her, "Are you nervous?" She said, "No, I got this. I'm fine." That is a serious leader of the future, and we are so proud of her. And I want to thank everybody at McKinley for hosting us today. Who's got a really cute little boy? And New Orleans mayor and great friend of mine, Mitch Landrieu, is in the house, whose son's not so little, but it looks pretty cool. I want to congratulate your new governor, who's going to do outstanding work. John Bell Edwards is in the house, and his lovely family. We are so grateful to have them here. Since LSU has a pretty good sports teams historically, I thought I might mention you got an okay basketball player named Ben Simmons in the house. So his dad played in Australia with my Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan. So they can hoop, but I think they would both acknowledge that Ben is better. And it's wonderful to have him here. Now, it is my intention not to give a long speech, because this is sort of a town hall. I want to spend a little time having a conversation with all of you. But I do want to make mention of what your incoming governor is already doing. He's already delivering for the people of Louisiana. This week, he took the bold and wise step to expand Medicaid to cover hundreds of thousands of hard-working Louisianans, providing them with the financial security of health care. It was the right thing to do. And by the way, it will actually help the state's finances. And it shows you why elections matter. And right now, we're hoping to encourage more states to do the right thing. One of the ways we're doing that is proposing additional funding to support new states that choose, as John did, to expand Medicaid. So I'm just so proud of him, and I'm confident that he's going to do great work. He's going to do great work. And everybody here needs to get behind him, because it's not going to be easy. You know, he's coming in a little like I came in. You know, sort of got to clean up some stuff. Now, I love Louisiana. I love Baton Rouge, but this is the first time I've been here as president. I've been trying to pack all my fun trips into my last year. And although I missed the Tigers beating Ole Miss last night, maybe I'll come back for football season. Some of you know I gave my final State of the Union address this week. I focused on the fact that we're going through a time of extraordinary change. And that's unsettling. It can seem sometimes, especially during political season, where everybody's running around saying, oh, everything's terrible. And let's find somebody to blame. That our politics won't meet the moment. But what I want folks to know, that's right, if you have a chair, go ahead and sit down. If you don't have a chair, don't sit down. I don't want you falling down. Good thing, whoever the first one was who did that, you're a leader. Love you back. Thank you. But what I want people to know is that we've been through big changes before. And America always comes out stronger and better as long as we make decisions together that are designed to seize the future instead of run away from it. And we're uniquely positioned to do that. We've got the strongest economy in the world. We've gone through the worst economic crisis of our lifetime, and we have bounced back with 14 million new jobs, cut the unemployment rate in half. We're the most powerful country on earth, capable of meeting any threat. Our commitment to science and education and entrepreneurship and our diversity make us a perfect match for what's needed in this new century. But our progress is not inevitable. So we've got to answer some big questions. Number one, how do we make sure that we create an economy where everybody is benefiting, everybody feels secure, everybody has a shot at success, not just some? That's question number one. Question number two, how do we make sure we've got an innovation economy and we embrace science and reason and facts instead of running away from it? Number three, how do we make sure that we keep America safe, not through trying to talk tough, but by being smart? Number four, how do we make sure our politics works, not in a way where everybody agrees, because in a big country like ours, people aren't going to agree on everything, but so that it is civil, and so that it is constructive, and so that we can work together to find solutions to the problems that are not just going to face us, but our kids and our grandkids. All right? Now, I tried to give you a sense of how I think we need to answer those questions going forward, but I promised I wasn't going to talk long because I want to have a chance to hear from you. I just want to make this point. We're pretty close to New Orleans, and I had a chance to go back and travel with Mitch as we were commemorating the anniversary of Katrina. And if you have any doubt about America's capacity to overcome anything, you just visit some of those neighborhoods, and you talk to some of those families, and you see the businesses that are thriving, and the homes that have been built, and the parishes that have pulled together. And it's just a reminder of the fact that when we work together, we cannot be stopped. We cannot be stopped. We work best as a team. And it is my ardent hope that during the course of this year, as long as I have this extraordinary privilege to be your president, that I'm going to be able to encourage more and more of you to get involved and feel that optimism and confidence about where America's headed.